Hello, Monique,
Hello.
MrsTrapHours. Welcome to
Yes.
For the Souls podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on. Before we start, though, the MrsTrapHours.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
That's actually a good story. A very close friend of ours one day was like, "What's up, Mrs. Trap Hours?" And it stuck.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, see that?
Yeah, it's a real, when I think of that, I'm like, oh, she hustling. You know?
Well,
don't
because
stop.
our brand is Trap Hours.
Yeah.
And obviously it started with my husband.
Yeah.
And everybody just started calling me Mrs. Trap Hours.
Yeah, and then I seen that you guys have like the Trap Hours Familia. You guys
Yep.
made it a whole brand. I love that you guys incorporated that. For those of you who might not recognize her, which I'm sure you guys do,
Yeah.
she's Baby Gas's wife. I wanted to have you on just because you guys' podcast, Saying What You Won't,
Yes.
is crazy.
Yes, it is. We get crazy sometimes.
Yes. I love that, though, because it does bring, like, a more funny, goofy, crazy side of people that maybe other people haven't seen.
Right.
But we were speaking before this podcast. It'll be a cool crossover because my podcast is a little bit more serious, and they'll get to see the more serious side of your life or deeper side of your life. Are you nervous about that?
Yes, I am.
Why?
Because I've never been interviewed. I'm so used to my podcast.
Yeah.
It's just super funny.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, I want somebody else's podcast. Like, how's this gonna go? Do I not cuss on here?
Oh no, you could cuss. You're
Okay.
you're good. I cuss too. Just authentically yourself. There's no restrictions, so you're good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's get started. You are from
I'm from Vacaville.
Vacaville.
Yes.
Okay. And what was your childhood like?
It was good. I grew up with my mom.
Mhm.
I'm half black, half Salvadorian. My mom's Salvadorian.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
No.
90s baby.
90s baby, yes. the best time. The last best time.
Yes.
If you ask me.
It was the best.
That's good. And you grew up two-parent household? Just your mom?
Just my mom. So my mom and my dad weren't together. They broke up
Yeah.
when I was around maybe like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I would always bounce back. I'd go to my dad's house like every other weekend.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
It was nice because, growing up with my mom, I grew up in a very Spanglish household. Not many people know. Yes, I do speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I bite my tongue sometimes still because I don't speak it as often as I should.
Yeah.
But in my like super younger years, it's just really funny because growing up in a Spanglish household, there's just some things we only said in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I only knew that one word in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to my dad's house the next week and ask you for something. And he's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, well, I don't know what it is in English. Trying to describe it. So you have to call my mom and ask her.
Yeah. Well, that's cool that you're bilingual. That's pretty tight. Have you ever caught people talking shit about you that think that you don't know Spanish?
Oh, for sure. In my
Yeah.
high school days. So funny. And as soon as I turn around and like respond something in English,
Yeah.
or I respond back in Spanish, they're looking at me like, what are you? I'm like,
Really?
mixed, bitch, and I heard you talking shit.
Hella funny. Yeah, no, people, I don't know. I've heard people talking shit about me because they think I'm Indian. Do I look Indian?
I could see that.
Could
You know what?
Like
Yes.
Punjabi?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could for sure see that.
Yeah, the owner was like, "What are you?" I was like, "I'm Mexican." He was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, yeah. do I not look Mexican?" But
What is the Mexican supposed to look like?
Yeah, but I get that so much though. But anyways, so growing up, split household. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have 2 sisters on my mom's side, and then I have a brother on my dad's side.
And where are you in the placement?
I'm the oldest.
The oldest. Ooh, so
Oldest on both sides,
Yeah.
and the oldest grandchild on both sides.
Yep.
I'm the oldest.
Same. Do you feel like from oldest to oldest, do you feel like a lot of the responsibility fell on your shoulders?
Yes, it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a kid myself. I had my fuck ups, and then
Yeah.
now I'm like, damn. So am I gonna be the reason why everybody else fucks up too?
Yes. Did you ever like go off the rails a little bit?
Oh, for sure.
Like in a way that you like your parents ever told you like, hey, you're supposed to be setting the example and you're not setting a good example to your siblings?
For sure.
Yeah.
I would
same.
think probably more my grandma
Mm.
was like that on my mom's side.
Yeah.
Like, you need to chill, because it was the weed, and that was like the forbidden, lettuce. Like, you can't be smoking weed. And I was the oldest, so I'm over there smoking. I'm coming home, my eyes are red, and she's like, you need to set a better example.
Yeah.
And then we find out later, now some of your younger cousins are smoking weed. It's your fault.
Yep. No, I dealt with that my whole life too. I'm the oldest from both sides as well. I don't really talk to my half siblings though, from like my dad's side.
Okay.
But from my mom's side, they're like my siblings. Like, I don't know. I don't look at them like half siblings,
Right.
But I was definitely the crazy one, always doing crazy shit, always getting into crazy shit. And I think my mom kind of just one day was like, fuck it. Like, I can't stop you. You're going to do whatever the fuck you want,
Just let her be.
Luckily, though, my sister, I feel like she observed what I was doing, and she went the complete opposite end of me. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good. Now, my brother, though, that's my story. That's where I might have rubbed off on. But it's all right. The pressures of being older. Do you feel like you were parentified when you were younger? Are you close in age with your siblings?
No, there's actually a pretty big gap. So, like, my sister, what is she now? Like, she's like 24 now? Yeah, she's like 24.
So that's what, like,
that's like,
you're a
like,
little older than me, huh?
I'm 32.
Oh, shit.
I'm born 91.
You aged nice.
Thank you.
I thought we were the same age. I'm 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm 32.
So then that's what, if my sister, I think is going to be, damn, how old is my sister going to be?
I think it's like a 9-year difference or something like that.
Okay, there's 6 years.
I still use my fingers to count. I'm like, hold on, 1, 2.
Yeah, no, same. Math is not my strong suit. So there's a big age gap between you and your sister. And then
my younger sister, she's actually my son's age. So she's like around 13 or so.
Yeah, only in Latino households, huh?
Yes.
Because it's same. Well, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's 10, but she's only like 4 years away from her tío, which is my youngest brother. And me and him are 15 years apart. And then we were thinking about it the other day. We were like, when he's 25, she's going to be 21. Like, they're going to be able to kick it and go out and have a fun time. And
it was
a trip to, like, think about it in that way, you know? That's a trip. So growing up, you had your parents, lived in separate households. Do you feel like that impacted you in any way to have your parents not together? Would you have wanted that as a kid?
Since they broke up when I was so young, that's all I knew was growing up in separate households. But I could definitely see that my dad not being in the house, I definitely got away with more shit.
Yeah.
Because had my dad been in that house, he probably would have been on my ass. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Like what? Give me an example.
Like the type of clothes.
Gotcha.
Like a girl, mom, girl to girl, you're like, I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
But you bring a dad into the picture, it's like, that's a fuck no. Take that off. Go back upstairs and change your clothes.
See, my mom was like that. She would be like, hell no. I literally could not wear, do you remember Bermuda shorts?
No, what are
Dude,
those?
the shorts that like go to here, they're like they
like
cut.
Biker shorts?
Yes, those are the only shorts I was allowed to wear for hella long. And I used to hate it because I used to want to be all cute and everyone was wearing like the cute shorts and the shirts that showed the back, like what are they called? Like
the halter
tube tops. My mom was not having none of that shit. She was like, go back inside, go change. And I would always try to, like, make my shirt a little shorter. And
I used to do that, too. Go to school and tuck it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But now, I think now that I'm a mom and I realize how I was dressing at a certain age, I look at my daughter, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So she's like, you used to dress like that?
You don't think so either? Hell no. You a strict daddy?
Oh, yes. He's like, you can go change that shirt because you're not going out like that.
Yeah. Ooh, my husband would say the same about me. He would say the same about me.
I'm stricter than how I was raised, okay?
So that's progress.
Yes, that's progress.
There we go. So how were you in your adolescence?
I would say I tend to follow a lot.
Really?
That's something that I for sure try to teach my kids different. Is I for sure, I wanted to fit in. So if the girls were wearing, the short tops, I felt like I needed to go wear the short top.
What do you think that stems from?
From wanting to be accepted. wanting to, feel like, okay, well, this is what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
This is what is cool. This is what everybody like has a liking to. Maybe I need to do that too.
Interesting. I would have never taken you to be somebody that would like openly say, I think I followed in high school.
Well, yeah, because, now that I'm like older, I'm doing a lot of healing as an adult, and, I like dissected myself, and I'm like, damn, a lot of the things I did when I was younger, I truly didn't even want to do.
Yeah.
I just did it because everybody else was doing it, and I wanted to either, feel accepted or feel cool about it.
And do you feel like when you would do the things that everyone else is doing, did it give you that sense of acceptance? Did you feel like you belonged?
Yeah, everybody's like, I'd get compliments or, oh, you look great.
Yeah.
But if I come out in like an anime shirt, which back then it wasn't really cool to like anime.
Yeah.
I come, in an anime shirt, it's like, girl, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
So then that was like, okay, damn, okay, I can't wear this shirt anymore. Even though I love that shirt. Just to fast forward now, all I wear is anime shirts.
Yeah. How long would you say that it took you to get to the point of realizing, like, fuck this, I'm just going to embrace who I am?
I think I had to have been, I want to say like around 27, 28.
Oh, okay.
So like, I feel like right now in my 30s, am I living like my truest self?
Good for you.
Comfortable. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is who the fuck I am, man. And I'm cool as fuck.
Yeah, no, I think you are. That's why I wanted to have you on here. It's such a trip to hear, because I feel like I was always the opposite of that. Like, if I seen anybody doing the same shit, I wanted to be as far away from that as possible.
See, I wish I would have been like that.
No, and you know what? But it was a double-edged sword, though, because I feel like it was a little lonely. I didn't have my place, like I would see all the like friend groups at school and shit, and I'd just be like, okay, I could get along with everybody, but I'm just a little stoner chick, and people know me because I'm hella cool, and I just like, I get along with everybody. But to say that I had like a set group of friends, or like, oh, everybody who went to house parties and shit, hell no, that wasn't me. And I always felt like that sense of not necessarily being accepted, but the way I like thought about it in my head was like, fuck that, then this is my strong suit. Like, I'm a lone wolf. It is what it is.
See,
I don't want to be like y'all.
That is a good fucking mentality to have. I fell in those cracks of like, no, I want to be cool. I want to be accepted. Not only that, but going against your intuition too.
Yes.
Everybody's going to this, like you said, house parties. Okay, well, everybody's going. Something in my stomach. I don't really want to go, but I forced myself to go. Well, everybody's going to be there. So I felt like I had to go. I go. Some shit happens. I should have kept my ass at home, but I didn't listen.
Yeah. What do you think your mom could have done differently to kind of lace you up with your foundation of being strong in who you are from an early age, that you feel like you're doing different for your kids?
From an early age, like the moment I stopped wanting to wear my anime shirts, I feel like she could have been like, no, you wear that shirt if you like that shirt. Because I was pretty open, like, oh, well, they laughed at me, or, they didn't think my shirt was cool. Maybe some of that encouragement could have helped, like, well, do you like it? Because that's what I asked my daughter. You know, we both ask her, I'm like, well, do you like the shirt? Because sometimes I don't like my daughter's shirts. And I keep it 100. But
girl, you look crazy.
But I got to double back, like, but do you like the shirt?
Yes.
Because if you like it, rock it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not hella short or whatever it is, if you like that shirt, go wear that.
Yeah.
So that's something that maybe would have helped.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think me and my husband are a little opposite with that, because he's very like sneakerhead. Right now he don't look like it because he just got off of work, but he's very into like, just said he don't like to look like everybody, so he likes to have the coolest shoes and shit, And then we've got one daughter that is super expressive. Like, this girl is a straight fashionista, and he'll be real quick to be like, that don't go, that don't look good. And I'll be like, Mija, do you feel beautiful? Yeah, I feel beautiful. Okay, then rock the shit. You look a little crazy, but your hair's not did. But if you feel beautiful, then you feel beautiful. Because I think it is important. And you know what's crazy? My mom never really did anything. I think it was just my character. Or she was the kind of mom that would be like, if I would tell her like, yeah, so-and-so has problems with me, and I feel like I dealt with that a lot too. Like, people just didn't like me, I think because I had that like, I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like me kind of attitude.
Right.
And my mom was very much they're just jealous of you kind of mom. And I feel like in a weird way that gave me confidence, because I'm like, all right, then fuck them, yeah.
I used to get that too, but as I got older, you know, you got to take accountability of some shit. And when I think back, you know, I'd be like, you know, well, you know, these girls don't like me or whatever. Now that I'm older, it was like, well, you know, how'd you really carry yourself though?
Yeah.
You know, like your group of friends, how was your group of friends? And a lot of my group of friends, not like how I am now, you know, super woman empowerment.
Yeah.
But back then, just it was kind of like, well, what's she looking at?
Really?
You know? And then it's like, what if they were just looking at you? Because I have a natural bitch face too until you talk to me and I'm like all big smiles. So I feel like that could have been a big part of it.
For you?
For me.
For you? See, for me, I think it was just, I honestly, if I had to, like, I've actually sat and I thought about this. I think it was just I honestly feel like it was just my personality. Like, I just had this, like, honestly, I was like a kid for a very long time. Like, I had this innocence to me, and I would still climb the trees at like 13, 14 years old. I would, you know, still look at the stars and all this shit. And I had this like weird side of me and just deep side of me that I always embraced.
See, and that's what I always hid.
But that's where I think people didn't like me, because I was so willing to embrace that. And because I was so okay with being different with that, even though I was cool with everybody, I can't even tell you the amount of times in high school there would be like upperclassmen that would just want to start shit with me for no reason. And I would be cool. Like, I would just be like, all right, like, I'm cool. And I would try to talk to them and be hella nice and kind. And they would still try to fuck with me and punk me. And I've gotten into a few squabbles because of that.
Just because you want to look at the stars and climb trees?
No, yeah, I think just for being unapologetically me. And in retrospect, when I thought about it, I think that because a lot of them maybe felt like they had to fit in or they had to be in groups. I think in a way it might have been intimidating to see somebody that was
to live in their truth and be comfortable with that and not care what anybody else thinks.
And then I think too, you know, once I would get to that point of like, I'm kind until I'm not, you know? Right. And then they would see that side of me and it would shut them the fuck up, but it would make them not like me even more, you know?
You're like, I'm fucked either way.
Yeah, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, but...
See, and I was like that too, you know, I had such an innocence, you know, my thing was Barbies.
Oh, I love Barbies too.
Yes,
do you remember Polly Pockets?
Yes, Polly Pockets. I loved Barbies. And like all through elementary school, you know, I used to I had the Barbie house, I had the cars, anything that came out, I had it. And it was till about, I think like 6th grade is when all the cool shit started happening. Well, it's not cool to play with toys and all that. Yeah. And real secret, I never told nobody this, but I played with Barbies all the way till 7th grade, dude. Until finally, like, you know, once you hit that middle school in the 7th grade, that's when like everything changes. Everybody's like trying to be grown. So I felt like, sorry, Barbies, I gotta put you away. Yeah. But deep down, I still wanted to play with my Barbies.
Yeah. Wow. When did you start healing? Like consciously, definitely. Is it the 27, 28?
Yeah, it's around that time.
Was there something that led up to you finally like facing yourself? Because I feel like all these light bulbs that you had about yourself, all these enlightenments and revelations, like what triggered all that to come up for you and heighten your self-awareness?
For one, is just like just the way of living, like, how do I explain it? Like, you know, you could just feel that something needs to change inside. Like I wasn't fully happy with myself. Yeah. And I wanted to be. Like one of the things, like a part of my healing was like, you know, I did a big chop to my hair. That was big for me because I used to straighten it all the time when I was younger because I felt like, well, straight hair makes you pretty. Yeah. I didn't want to, you know, have the curly hair. Everybody always wanted to straighten their hair. Yeah. The freckles on my face. No way. I hated my freckles. I like covered them with makeup, you know, and now girls are over here drawing freckles. Literally. I think that's what really started my healing was like, I don't like to wear hella makeup, but I did because everybody else is wearing hella makeup. They're caking it on. I genuinely don't like to. I like to have my hair out. You know, I don't like to straighten my hair all the time. Yeah. And that's what kickstarted it for me is like loving myself and loving like this is me, like this is how I am. I don't have straight hair. Yeah, I straighten it sometimes in case my man's feeling like he wants something a little different. That's what's cool about, you know, dating a curly head. But for the most part, you know, I love my curly hair. Yeah. I love my freckles. And that's what started it for me.
And way to embrace yourself. You're such a natural beauty.
Thank you.
Like it's crazy to see you, and just not just your physical attributes, right? But just your personality. Like I look at you and I'm like, this is a beautiful person, inside and out. You know, even with your anime.
I'm on my period, so I'm emotional.
No, I'm serious. So it's crazy to hear. You know, you obviously can't see yourself through the lens that other people see you in, right?
Right.
But even in the conversations that we've had on Instagram, and like we've had a few deeper like combos about some deep shit, I'm just like, wow, it's such a trip to hear that you've viewed yourself through this lens. And as an outsider looking in to someone I'm getting to know and meeting, I can't believe you would even think these things or even want to hide these attributes to yourself.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just different, especially like, you know, when I'm growing up on my mom's side. Everybody straightened their hair in the household. Nobody had curly hair like mine. You know, I was the mixed kid, you know, I'm the biracial kid.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, well, you know, my mom's got straight hair. Everybody else straightened their hair. I need to straighten my hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it started with that too. And then just until like I'm getting older and I'm an adult, you know, I have my kids and I'm like, I want to show my kids that too.
Yeah.
You know, be you. Be unapologetically you. You know, feel beautiful. Don't feel like you have to do something else to feel a certain way, you know?
Isn't it a trip how having kids opens that side of us as mothers?
Yes.
Like everything that we didn't realize needed to come to the surface all of a sudden gets surfaced in our children, because now we're in a position to have to either spare them or make them go through the same shit that we went through.
Right.
Or learn it the hard way. Mm-hmm. And I think there's some women that, I don't know if they just don't think about it that deeply or what. And then there's women like us that we're sitting there and we're like, oh shit, we got to make some changes.
Yes.
And we got to do things different for the sake of how our little ones feel.
Right.
I think it's a testament of being a good mom. Yeah. Honestly, it takes a lot to face yourself.
It does. And I had my first two oldest, I was 18. Mm-hmm. You know, I had my first one. When I got pregnant, 18, had him when I was 19. Then my oldest daughter followed. Yeah. So, you know, I was the baby having babies. We like, if you think about it, like they had to grow up with me. Yeah. Because the mom I am today was not the same mom I was when I was 18 and like in my early 20s. I was still lightweight reckless.
Do you ever look back at that and feel guilt?
Oh, for sure.
Same.
I'm like, damn, I could have done this different, or you know, I could have done that different, or damn, I should have been over there more often, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely have the guilt, but I also think you got to forgive yourself though. Like, you know, I was young too. Yeah. You know, I'm still figuring things out, but that's why I said like these 30s for me, dude. I'm loving the 30s right now.
I'm looking forward to that. I feel like the 30s is going to be my decade, to be honest, because I feel like 20s, actually since having a kid, 18. Yeah. Well, since I got pregnant.
It's a lot.
It's been back-to-back hectic shit, focused on the healing and doing all these things. Much like you, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, hell yeah. Like I just feel these big things coming from me personally, in my marriage, in life. Like,
right, that part, marriage good, too, you know? Man, yes.
Obviously, Baby Gas having his, you know, career and the spotlight being on you guys, was that a weird adjustment for you?
I think for me, it was just a weird adjustment because I naturally, you know, he has this light around him already. You know, he's already used to being a public figure. And then here I come. And then people start to notice me more. And then I got my first, like, can I take a picture? Yeah. And I'm like, you want to take a picture of me? Like, okay. Sometimes I get, like, super awkward. Like, sure, let's take a picture. But I think it was that. Because, like, you know, just naturally I'm with him. People love us together. And it was like a strange, like, adjustment that just kind of happened and kind of just put me
How did you guys meet, if you don't mind me asking?
At one of his shows.
No way.
Yeah.
You went to go see him perform?
I did. I got invited by like a mutual friend at the time, and that's where we met, and it kicked off from there.
Well, he seen you out the crowd or what? How'd it go?
I asked for a picture.
No way.
I'm like, oh, can I have a picture with you? He's like, yeah, girl, you know.
I'll be fine. Well, that's cool. And you guys are married. How long have you guys been married?
We're a year in.
Oh, just like us. We're actually about to be a year, April 2nd.
Okay, ours is September.
Oh, we're newbies.
Yes.
Sheesh, scared of us.
Still getting through it. I'm like, we still here though. Yeah. You ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the first few months after being married was the fucking hardest. I feel like we got hit with shit back to back. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it was crazy. You guys didn't experience that?
No.
Oh, that's good for you guys because man, I feel like didn't we, babe? We got hit with back-to-back shit right after we got married. I was like, what the I've been with this man 10 years. Now all of a sudden this all kinds of shit's gonna happen. Not crazy stuff though. Not like not like infidelity or no crazy stuff. No. No, just we just had to learn how to process new things as a couple.
I think for us it's the communication. You know, I'm a Gemini. He's a Virgo.
Ooh.
Sometimes he,
my son's a Virgo.
See, sometimes he wants to talk about it, and I'm like, give me a minute. Like, I don't want to talk about it right now, but he wants to. But then I know myself, and sometimes, you know, my mouth can get the best of me, or sometimes I just don't want to say something I don't mean. So I'd be like, just give me a minute. Yeah,
see, that's exactly me and him too. He's a Sagittarius, I'm a Cancer, and he's very much, we're gonna fix it on the spot. And like, we a little toxic with each other, but like we like it, you know?
Yeah.
So he'll be like, nah, you're going to talk to me right now. We're going to talk about this. Kiss and make up right now. And I'm just like, man, if you don't fucking leave me alone, like I'm about to get really fucking pissed off. But I feel like
a minute.
I feel like he likes that shit to an extent. Like I think he likes it.
I tell him that too. I'm like, you like to poke at me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, chill.
Yeah. Oh man, it's too much. It's too much. And you guys are a blended family. You guys got how many kids?
We got 5.
All together?
All together. 5.
Is it a lot of work?
Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know the 2 oldest really help. You know, we got nice ages going on.
Yeah.
You know, we got 12, we got 13, 9, 6, and 5.
Oh, that's good ages.
Yeah, see,
they're kind of all growing together.
They all help, even down to like all the older ones help with the 2 youngest.
Are you nervous for the teenage years?
Yes, my first one's about to hit high school.
Do you see the difference? Like, is oldest is boy, right?
Yeah.
Is a personality shift happening?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I see that more in my daughter.
Oh, my gosh.
Already. She's like 12 going on like 16 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think it's going to hit once you start seeing, because I know for me with my brothers, when I started seeing them get like the jawline and the broad shoulders and the crack in their voice, it really hit me like, damn, my brothers are growing up.
See, I'm not ready.
I'm scared of that for my boys. I feel like I can handle my girls and all the little attitude that comes with them, but my boys, because it's such a physical change, I'm like, oh man. And they're my babies, you know.
I'm not ready. They'll forever be my babies though.
Yeah, yeah. So you had babies young, like me. What was the most challenging part of motherhood for you?
Damn, I think it would be just learning how to be a mom. I mean, I was used to babysitting, you know what I mean? And then like to have your own baby waking up every 2 hours. And then I actually went to school right after I had my first one. So
like
I'm
college or you were
college.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like waking up every 2 hours, got to be in class by 7.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how I did that.
Did you end up graduating college?
Yes, I did.
Oh, what'd you major in?
Business management and marketing.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
good
bachelor's,
shit.
baby.
Good shit.
I actually walked the stage with my youngest because I took like when you talk about like was anything hard, I took so many breaks.
Yeah.
So something that should have only took me 4 years, it took me longer. It took me like 5-6 years.
Yeah, but you accomplished it. I mean,
I did. I was
so
8 months pregnant walking the stage, but we made it.
Was there ever any time that you felt like giving up?
Oh yeah, you can even ask my husband. There's times I'd break down so much, crying like, I'm tired of this. I just want to be done. Fuck it, forget it. I don't want to do it no more. Yeah. But I did it.
Good for you. That's awesome. I would have. Nah, I can't say I would have liked to finish school. I don't like school.
I didn't either, and I honestly only did it because family was like, you got to do something. You got to go to school for something.
No, well, it's good because you have something under your belt. And there's a sense of security in that. You know what I mean? Me, I gave it to God. I said, Lord God, I am going to be a stay-at-home mommy. And if my man don't act right in the years to come, I believe that you will provide. I have so much faith in it.
Take the wheel.
For real. But I did go to college for a little bit. I went to college for sociology.
Ooh, okay.
And I wanted to be a sex therapist for a hot second.
Ooh, sex therapist.
Sex therapist, yes. And then I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'll work with like juveniles in like detention centers and things like that.
Okay.
Which now I'm like, had I gone to schooling with all the shit that I was going through in life, like I probably could have been that, you know, but it's all right.
I changed my major so many times. I wanted to be a school teacher because I love kids. I do. Yeah. I wanted to be a school teacher. Then I wanted to be a psychologist. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe something in the medical field. Everybody's like, the medical field, do the medical field. So then I was thinking x-ray technician. I went to my first class, and the cadavers that are in the back. And for those that don't know what cadavers are, they're like dead bodies that got, I don't know, some type of fluid. Nope.
Could you smell them?
Out. Yes, the smell. I will never forget the smell.
Oh,
and I was like, it's not for me. I don't got the stomach.
Yeah, my mom went to nursing school, and that was like her favorite part. See, she's Gemini too. Ooh. I'm like, oh, you're a little sick.
I mean, we lightweight. We got some loose screws, but you know.
Yeah. And you know, I get along really well with Geminis though. My sister's a Gemini. She's a straight hard ass, and then my mom's a Gemini, but my mom's a little bit.
May or June?
June.
Okay.
Are you a May Gemini?
No, I'm a June Gemini.
June Gemini, yeah. June Geminis. My sister is really tough. She's a tough cookie, but she's very I don't know. I feel like my mom is too. There's like they could be very secretive if need be.
I think we're just misunderstood, okay? And how we act depends on you.
Okay, makes sense.
So if you look like I can't trust you, I might be secretive and not tell you shit.
Makes sense. I gotta talk to my sister. No, well that's cool. Does he believe in zodiacs?
Yes.
Yes.
I got his birth chart. We looked each other's birth chart up.
Are you guys compatible?
Yes. So the Virgo and Gemini is like we can clash because we do sometimes, but they say we are a strong ass couple once you figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Strong, solid.
Damn, not us.
She said not us.
Dude, I looked up our chart, and we are like the two worst pair to like come together of the zodiac signs, because we have to both really learn emotional intelligence to be able to mesh together. And
see, and he's a good communicator. He's a very good communicator. I'm a Gemini. I need a good communicator because I'm not so good. You leave it to me and we argue, I won't talk to you till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like he's the one that's like, no, we need to talk.
He's learned that throughout the years. And now I feel like I actually tend to shut down more than, or I don't want to say shut down. I just feel like I need time to process.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that comes from, I was looking at this therapist lady who was talking about being a good wife, and that you don't want to, say things that'll hurt your husband because you can never take those things back.
Right. And which is why I've been needing my space for a minute.
One of my biggest problems is I will hit below the belt. Like if you push me there, but I know I shouldn't be that way as a wife. So that's where I've had to learn. Like, let me just take a step back. Let me process. Please get out my face for a second.
I mean, you're barely a year in, we're gonna work it out.
Well, we've been together hecka long since we were kids. How long have you guys been together?
Shit, going on like 6-7 years now.
Yeah, you guys aren't too far behind. It's I feel like, despite being with him so long, there's still so many new things that I'm learning about him or us together that is kind of a trip to see.
See, that's where I feel like the birth charts kind of helped.
Yeah.
Because then I can kind of understand where he's coming from. And then when he looks at mine, he kind of understands where I'm coming from. Like, okay, she just need a little minute. She'll be all right.
Yeah. You guys want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
The majority of serial killers are Virgos and Geminis.
I saw that. That's why I was like, do not fucking play with me. And he was like, do not fucking play with me.
Do not fucking play with us.
So I was like, okay, yeah.
It's a warning. That's a power couple right there.
Period.
Shit. Well, that's cool. What do you think is the biggest lessons you've learned from life in general? Not just motherhood or marriage, but life.
From life itself, I would think forgiveness.
That's a big one. Have you struggled with forgiveness in your life?
Oh, yeah, I can hold a fucking grudge. Like, it could be like kindergarten, bitch. You stepped on my shoe. I ain't fucking with you. Like, you
see how he looked at me? He said, you're here.
I can, but like over the years, like, you're only hurting yourself, though.
Yeah.
And that's something that
Gemini
I've learned.
Shit right there.
Because you hold that in. You got that anger. It's like, I've had to forgive people that ain't even been sorry, that might have done something to me. And I got to forgive. I got to let that shit go.
Yeah. And those ones are the hard ones right there.
They are. Because they're really tough.
It requires such a great ability to step out of your own flesh desires. Yes. You know, I think for me, one of my biggest ones that was hard was my dad, my real dad. Having to forgive him when I didn't get that sorry, that was like the hardest one for me. And being comfortable with not ever having a sorry.
Yes.
You know, and accepting that shit, it might just be what it is.
And I feel you. I got family like that too. That's just like, I gotta forgive you, but you ain't even sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm over here forgiven.
When you finally learned how to be unconditional in your forgiveness, do you feel like it was a weight lifted off of your shoulders?
Yes. I feel like it was a huge weight. Like, I feel like I was making myself sick.
Yeah.
From just being so angry or hurt or like the crying, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's okay to feel how you want to feel. If you're angry in that moment, I've learned, be angry. Don't try to hide that. Don't try to bury it. Because when you bury it, it's going to pour out.
Yep.
And that's what was happening with me, like, over the years when I decided to finally heal, is everything started pouring out. Yeah. I mean, I have a random ass breakdown crying. It's because of everything that I was holding. It's coming out now. And so what I did was, sometimes you got to sit in those feelings for a bit. So if you want to be sad, be in that moment. Be sad. Feel what you need to feel, and then let it go.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the same for you, but I feel like in my forgiveness journey, I had to really learn how to step out of looking at things from my own viewpoint and trying to understand the other side. Did you go through the same? Was that hard for you?
It is.
It is hella hard to do.
Once you do, and you do put yourself in the other person's perspective, you lightweight start to feel bad for that person. Yes. And you're like, how the fuck do I feel bad for you? I'm the one that should have been upset. But, you know, when you put your big girl chonies on and you really dissect things and you're like, okay, I understand. It still wasn't cool. I'm not justifying that, but okay, I get it.
And I think another beauty of that too is, like, in forgiving people, it's actually made me be accountable for, like, the roles I played. And sometimes the role, even if it could have been like the worst shit done to me, right? The role that I played was either letting it happen or letting shit slide or not following intuition. Like, it really made me get to know myself in terms of the role might have just been, I wasn't equipped on how to handle this situation. Therefore, X, Y, and Z happened. Now I can learn from that and make sure, okay, if I'm ever presented with this situation with a particular person ever again or whatever it may be, I know not to make that same mistake that I made last time.
Right.
And there's such an empowerment in that.
There is. And you know what? I'm reading a book right now. It's called How to Do the Work. Mm-hmm. And this book, I'm in like chapter 6 right now. And I cried in the first chapter, you know, because I'm not the type, me personally, I don't believe in seeing a therapist. Yeah. I don't get no connection from that. I don't get nothing from telling you what's going on. Like, do you really feel me or no? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this book, it teaches you basically how to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I started crying, I think it was in the first chapter. I'm not sure like how the exact words were, but it was, some of the deepest wounds we have wasn't necessarily what others did to us, but what we did to ourselves. And it was that. I'm like, oh, it like stabbed me in the heart. And it was like, I got to forgive myself, man. You can't be too hard on yourself. You got to heal. You got to let it go. And I think it was that. It was like going against the grain, going against your intuition with certain things and taking that accountability. Like, damn, I could have been out of this situation, but I went against what my intuition was telling me. And it was that. And I'm like, damn, when I thought more back about it, those were the wounds that hurt me the most, were the ones that I did to myself.
Yeah. And being gracious with yourself for the shit that you had to do in survival mode when you didn't know any better. Right. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. We look back and we're like, man, we could have did this or that or whatever, but just that's what you did to survive. You know, that was the mentality you took to survive, and just allowing that grace that I feel like it's so easy to extend grace to other people, but it's the grace with ourselves that is the hardest for most people.
Yes, because when my friends call me with problems, I'm like, I got all the good things to say, all the motivational things to say. But then when it comes to myself, I was like, I am not taking my own advice.
But you know what? You're doing the work. You reading these books and you being on this like discovery of healing and figuring yourself out, self-awareness, accountability, all this, it's going to sharpen that connection with yourself.
And my best friend bought me that book.
Oh, that's a good best friend right there.
And I held on to that book for 3 years before I cracked it open recently.
And something just called you to do it?
Yeah, and that's just how things happen with me. Like, I had the book, I kind of flipped through it a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'll read it. Because I love books. I love to read. And out of nowhere, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go grab that book. Something was like my gut, my intuition. And I listen to my intuition now.
Yeah.
I grabbed that book, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing the work currently right now.
Good for you. Well, I'm going to be praying for you on your, I don't know if you're a woman of faith, but I'm going to be praying for you on your healing journey, because it is a roller coaster ride, and there's times where you are strong and you got the answers, and you get stronger in that mental fortitude as you go, but fuck, them lows are low too.
Yes, they are.
And then I'm sure you've experienced some already, and then you have to remember what you've been learning and how to do it and apply it. And
right. I mean, and I definitely recommend the book to anybody who is like me that maybe don't want to see a therapist. Maybe you had some traumatic things happen to you. I promise you, this book, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. And I actually love that you said that you don't believe in therapy. And I know that probably goes against the grain, because I'm a mentor and the shit that I do, but I actually agree with you, because I don't like today's therapists. I don't like today's psychologists. I don't like none of it, because I feel like that aspect that you just talked about, the power of your own mind and building your own mental fortitude, has gotten lost in what was supposed to be that field. Now everyone's real quick to be like, well, you're X, Y, and Z, and diagnoose you with this, that, and the other.
Let me give you an antidepressant
for this. Yes.
Take it, for such and such long. Or I just feel like, they're just sitting there. It doesn't feel like helping me heal. It just feels like judgment,
or just empty listening.
Yes, like you're just there, like you're paid to listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that you're on here and you're sharing that, and it's going to encourage people to do that work, especially like you, Gas, having his platform, you having your platform, to this deeper side of you. People hear you and see the funny side, but to see this as well, and that you're embracing it. I'm sure there's going to be listeners that are like, I felt like her. Like, I had to fit in, and, you're embracing your anime. And your curly hair and your freckles and all this stuff.
I love my anime. I love my cartoons. Like, I watch hella cartoons. Like, no lie, I love it.
Big old kid.
Yeah, I be doing my hair, and I'm watching As Told by Ginger. Yeah. Or I'm watching Daria. Like I'm just living my best life.
Good, though. Good. I feel like a lot of healing, the way I can describe it to people, is just coming back to who you were before the world hurt you.
Yes.
It's like the little you all over again.
It is.
And it feels so free.
Yes, it is. And that's what it is. Yeah, you're just, you're healing that inner child. Or, I like to look back at myself. I look at like older pictures from when I was younger. And I'm like, I'm doing this for you.
Yes.
Like I'm going to do better for us. And I don't ever see myself as somebody like to look up to, you know what I mean? I just don't look at myself that way. But like, I do get DMs. I do have girls reach out to me. And some girls have some deep conversations with me to where you can even ask my husband. I'll like pause. Hold on. I open this message. It's a deep one. I can't not answer it. I have to answer it on the spot because I feel that, and nowadays that's why I'm so big on the women empowerment. Like, we need each other, man. Like, sometimes we just need a good listening ear. Maybe you don't need a therapist. Maybe you just needed somebody that you felt like you could talk to. And I happen to have been that person. Yeah. So I was like, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. Well, Monique, is there anything that you want to promote? Any business ventures, endeavors that we should know about that are coming up?
Well, my character, Demonia. Yes, I have merch for her. My goal, I'm really trying to get an animated series with her. So this is what I'm working on. This is my baby. A lot of people know me as MrsTrapHours and everything online, but this is my baby. This is what I'm trying to do.
Demonia's clothing brand?
She's a character.
She's a character.
And I have her on clothing right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm working towards getting that animated series.
And you created her?
I created her, and then I had somebody illustrate her for me.
Real quick. What inspired that? You?
Yeah. Of course, she has the halo. She has the horns, but the character itself is much deeper than that. She's the basically like embracing the light and the darkness and loving all of that you are.
I love that. Did anime inspire this?
Yeah, I love anime.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, when you said character, I was like, I think anime inspired.
Yeah, and this is my baby right now.
Well, that's so awesome, that creative side of you. And I wish you all the well in your endeavors in doing the animated series. I don't even know how that would work, but I'm here for it. It sounds like a lot of work that I know nothing about, but that's cool. Well, good for you. Well, thank you so much for joining the podcast, and I hope that you guys
for having me.
Of course, I hope that you guys got to see a deeper side of her, and go check out their podcast if you want to see crazy stuff.
Yes, saying what you want,
titty milk, and all kinds of stuff. Hey, which that's a booming business, by the way. Not that I've looked into it, but it is.
No, it is.
It is. But yeah, well, thank you so much, and that is it for today. It wraps it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.